meditation teacher. He offers classes, workshops, and trainings locally in San Francisco and internationally. His yoga class at Grace Cathedral is attended by hundreds of people each week. And then I'm going to tell you about Amber, who's going to be speaking first, actually. Amber Field is a singer, multi-instrumentalist, and teacher specializing in world fusion music. They have performed and taught at the San Francisco International Arts Festival, Esalen, Wanderlust, UC Berkeley, and UC Santa Cruz. Amber delights in helping people sing, sound, and speak their truths with more confidence and freedom. And you can find out more about her at her website, amberfieldmusic.com. Darren and Amber.
Thank you so much. I wanted to start out with a litlittle blessing with didgeridoo, an indigenous Australian instrument that the Aborigines in Australia use to tell their story of creation, their dream time. So I wanted to do a little blessing to open this space for us. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to welcome Darren Main to the stage.
Thank you so much, Amber. My name is Darren Main. I teach at Grace Cathedral, yoga, meditation. It is such an honor to be able to be here with Amber. Hi, Jaden. One of the things that they asked us to speak about today is religious diversity and spiritual diversity as something that is important that we consider here at Pride. It's something that we try to create every Tuesday at the cathedral. And as I was reflecting on what I was going to say, I was brought back to my very first Pride experience in San Francisco. I showed up, it was 1996, and when I arrived and I was at the parade, I remember a few things stand out more than anything else. The first was the crazy number of hot men everywhere. It sort of captured my attention. But the interesting thing is, I don't remember what any of them look like today. They made an immediate impression, and then I was on to something else. But what I do remember, as clear as if it were today, are a few things that I saw that I didn't expect. And the first was the senior citizen contingent. And there were these older couples, gay and lesbian, walking, holding hands. And it had never occurred to me until that point that I would someday have a full life filled with love and memories. The world hadn't put that into my consciousness. I also saw people who were HIV positive, and at that time, being HIV positive generally meant you looked very sickly, and walking with pride, and people standing up and walking for them. And I saw clergy members from every faith imaginable marching down Market Street, and it had never occurred to me that there were people out there who could be of faith and not believe that God somehow hated us. So all of these things I witnessed, and then I saw something that changed my life more than anything else. I saw families, gay and lesbian families, marching with their children. And something shifted for me that day, something that I did not expect, but as I look back, the most important things in my life began on that day when I opened my mind to what was possible. I'm now a single father because I saw families marching that day. I now teach yoga in this grand cathedral that I didn't think would ever welcome me in its doors. I'm now getting older. I know, it's hard to tell. But I see a bright future because of what I learned that day. And so what I'm going to ask you to do, Amber and I are going to be leading a meditation in just a moment, but I want you to consider something as you celebrate today. That yes, there's so much to celebrate in this moment, and there are beautiful people everywhere. But the more important thing is the message we send to the world. This idea that in 25 years there will be somebody standing here who will have had the experience that I had, having this day change their life. Now maybe they're watching on TV, or maybe they're here at the Pride celebration for the first time. Maybe they're watching this live on Facebook or seeing images on social media. We didn't have that 20 years ago. We didn't even have Grindr 25 years ago. It's hard to imagine. So I would ask you, in whatever way you'd like, to just embrace this idea of centering yourself and taking time throughout this day to see the things that truly inspire us to be better, to support each other, and to change the world. In whatever way feels comfortable, if you'd like to close your eyes. If you're seated, maybe you can straighten your back. If you're a member of a particular faith or spiritual tradition, you can take a moment to acknowledge that. If you take a more agnostic approach to life, acknowledge that as well. Just take a moment to acknowledge the beauty that is all around you today. The obvious beauty that catches your eye easily, but then the more profound and deep beauty. Consider for a moment that on one hand we can celebrate whatever contingent of the parade we identify with, but that together we make a whole, something bigger than any one contingent. I'm going to offer you a prayer and a meditation. It's adapted from the Week of Prayer in 1978. please take a moment to just reflect on these words. May we put our trust in the power of good to overcome evil and the power of love to overcome hatred. May we pray for the vision to see and the faith to believe in a world emancipated from violence. A new world where fear shall no longer lead us to commit injustice, nor selfishness lead us to bring suffering to others. Help us to devote our whole life and thought and energy to the task of making peace, praying always for the inspiration and the power to fulfill the destiny for which we were created. Let's take a deep breath together and exhale. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. I want to thank you all so much for being here today, for celebrating and for being a beacon of hope for people new to Pride, maybe just coming out. I also want to take a moment to introduce to you somebody who's very special to me and who I'm honored to share this stage with and every Tuesday night with. Many years ago, before I moved to San Francisco, I read about this crazy radical cathedral in San Francisco. And they were doing the most crazy things, rocking the boat everywhere. They were ordaining women. Imagine that. They were ordaining gay men and lesbians. They were doing same-sex unions at a time when none of us could even envision gay marriage. And when I first came to San Francisco, I went to this cathedral and was just blown away by the diversity of the clergy and the welcoming feeling that I had when I walked in the doors. I never could have imagined that they would allow me to teach yoga there every Tuesday night. Now, Reverend Jude, who I'll be bringing out in just a moment, has started this flourishing community called The Vine, which is welcoming people of every background. And I'm honored to bring him out now. Reverend Jude Harmon.